I watched every Dr. Joe Dispenza's testimonial to discover one single thing. And what I discovered will probably disappoint you. It's not the meditation, it's not the technique, it's not some secret frequency you haven't mastered yet. People healing from chronic disease, autoimmune conditions, depression, pain doctors said was permanent. And I kept asking myself one question: why them and not anyone else? Because if you think about it, millions of people meditate every day, right? But most quit and say it does not work for them. So, why didn't this happen to people who saw big transformations? So, let me show you exactly what I saw, what I discovered. Because, let's be honest here, guys, most people don't quit meditation because it doesn't work. They quit because they don't see results fast enough. One of the biggest struggles people have is this: they want change, so they start strong because they feel really motivated at the moment. But the moment they sit down to meditate, the doubt creeps in. It's like their mind attacks them. It's like your brain suddenly becomes a lawyer.
Objection. This won't work. Where is your evidence?
And somehow your brain makes it a very convincing case that your old self wants to believe. And then doubt creeps in. Am I doing this meditation right? Why does it feel like this is not working? And the biggest problem here is this: the meditation and their mood depends mostly on their state that they are in at the moment. But when that state changes over time, because we have had a bad day or suddenly the meditation becomes less urgent, then the old identity shows up. And then you get familiar thoughts like, well, this actually does not work for me. What if I'm just wasting my time? And that doubt slowly starts to win. And then after these thoughts, you start to negotiate with your old identity. Maybe I can meditate tomorrow. And before you know it, you negotiated with your mind. And you are out. You lost. So one day becomes 2 days. And before you know it, you are back to your old patterns again. Your old identity. But I can tell you this: the real problem is not your meditation. They are trying to act like a new person, but they negotiate with the mind of the old person. So, what do I exactly mean by this? Every time you quit, something worse happens to your mind. You do not just lose progress, you lose belief in yourself. And this is devastating. So let me explain. Your new story becomes: I always start things, but I never finish it. Or maybe change is not for me. Maybe those testimonials are for other people. And before you know it, you start to believe those thoughts. So after watching every testimonial of Dr. Joe Dispenza, one pattern became obvious. The people who healed did not just meditate. They did 3 things, and this matches the 3-step framework I will teach you right now in this video. So step number 1, they decide. They reached a breaking point in their life where they don't have any other option. Or I'm going to heal, or I will die. And this is not, I will try another meditation today. So they had no other option to really decide to change, because there was no other option. But then step number 2 comes in, and that makes all the difference, because step number 2 is they commit. And this is where most people fail. They say, I'm committed. But what they really mean is, I will do it as long as I feel good. And that is really dangerous if you really want to change. So never leave the moment of decision without attaching a consequence, because your future self will be in a different emotional state someday. And when doubt shows up and when doubt creeps in, the stronger force wins. So the question what I had is, what did the people in the testimonials did differently? They built non-negotiable systems. They didn't ask, do I feel like meditating today? No. They decided, this is my medicine. And my medicine is not optional. If you have cancer and your doctor gives you a treatment, for example, you don't wake up and say, I don't feel aligned today. I think I skipped my treatment. No, you take it. That's the commitment. But here's a deeper layer, and that is so important. Most of them had something massive at stake. If they quit, the disease wins, right? If they quit, their children grow up without them. And then the pain of staying the same was unbearable to them. And that made quitting more painful than the pain of discipline, of staying in the game, staying to meditate. And if there's not enough pain attached to staying the same, you will not change. So real commitment means you create something that is at stake for you. And you remove the negotiation with yourself, so you make quitting more painful than staying in the same game. All those people who changed did not rely on motivation. They built in structure and an automatic system and didn't negotiate with themselves. They showed up daily, no matter the mood, no matter the doubt, no matter the symptoms, no negotiation with yourself. And commitment means you show up even when you do not believe. It's your medicine. And then we go into step number 3, the most important one, and that is resolve. So the people who healed did not just show up. They stopped negotiating internally with themselves. At first they probably ask, will this work for me? Or how long will this take? And what if I'm the exception? What I saw is they made a deeper shift. They moved from I'm trying to heal to I am becoming someone who is healed. And that is resolve. They felt gratitude before the result. So you are no longer waiting for reality to change before you change. You change first. So when I watched every testimonial, I expected to find a better technique, maybe a longer meditation routine or a secret frequency, a spiritual breakthrough. But what I found was much simpler. Every single person who healed made a simple decision to no longer identify themselves as a sick person. They emotionally stopped being the old self, and that changed everything. They made one simple decision. They rejected the old identity and they made one commitment to refuse to go back to the old self. But let me be honest with you. I made almost every mistake you can make while doing this work, meditation. But I was still sabotaging myself in ways I couldn't even imagine. And after analyzing all those testimonials, I realized I was doing 5 things completely wrong. And most people who say, it doesn't work for me, are making the exact same mistakes. So if you want to avoid wasting months or maybe even years of your time, watch this video right here, where I break down my 5 biggest mistakes while doing the work. Because it's that we are unknowingly working against ourselves, right? Okay guys, love you all and see you in the next video.